Brandon probably. Accidentally deleted this morning, so that's pretty frustrating. Somehow I got the first pick of the draft again. Don't know how that keeps happening. Wow. Anyways, I just want to add on some stuff from last night. Clear up some of my opinions, maybe, if they weren't made completely clear. Yeah. Okay, so last night we covered the Hall of Fame and a lot of things NFL and a few things NBA. Today I'm going to start NBA, start with Lonzo Ball, and just the thing about this kid is very intriguing. A lot of people are really getting lost in the hype of his dad, forgetting how really talented that this kid is and has the potential to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my opinion on him. I think Lonzo, as I just said, has a lot of potential to be one of the greatest things within the next 10 years of the NBA. Obviously, right now, it's still Steph and Westbrook's league at point guard, but Lonzo's got time. Why can't he just learn from Magic? Obviously, with Magic being the GM of the Lakers, gives Lonzo pretty much a golden opportunity to, if he listens, to learn from Luke Walton, who was an NBA champion, and Magic, who's probably the greatest point guard of all time. It's really interesting, the opportunity that he has that a lot of kids don't get. Breaking down his game, I think everybody knows about the playmaking. Everybody knows about how special that he could be as a playmaker. And I'd like to agree on most of that. There's just a big fall back that a lot of people like to talk about that I just don't agree with personally, and that's that he's not a great three-point shooter. I think he's a great three-point shooter. Not great. He has the potential to be great, though. And the reason that people say that he's not great is just because of his form. Why? Because somebody's got an ugly form, why does that mean that they can't play? I think Lonzo's going to be special. I think he's going to be able to shoot just fine. He shot really well in the summer league. I mean, he had his off games, but whatever. He's still just a kid. Give him time. Oh, yeah. Okay. I like Lonzo. Just end it there. Next, I'm going to talk about Terrell Owens again, because I don't think that me getting into it last night was enough. T.O. was, in my opinion, the greatest receiver that I ever got to watch, realistically, other than Calvin Johnson. I don't think it's fair to snub him from the Hall of Fame year after year after year, and it's going to keep happening, I think, because of what he did off the field, and I just don't think that's really right, because next year Randy Moss is going to get in over him, and who knows the year after that who's going to get in over him. Just the NBA is going to keep finding ways to not let him in, and it's an injustice and it's a tragedy. And guys like O.J. Simpson are in the Hall of Fame, and O.J. was a lot more questionable off the field than Terrell Owens. T.O. just liked to talk. He never went to prison. He never got accused of killing somebody. He had a mouth on him. Randy Moss had a mouth on him. Michael Vick, when he was younger, had a mouth on him. Which, he'll probably be a Hall of Famer, and everybody knows what he did. I just want to understand other people's opinions why Terrell is not in the Hall of Fame, and why he's not going to be to you guys, or why he will be eventually. It's an injustice to Terrell in his career. Moving on from Terrell Owens, because that gets me worked up and just not in the mood to be in a bad mood. I don't have time for that. LeBron James, as you all know, been to 7 straight finals, won 3. In my opinion, that's not a world beater status. While he is obviously one of the greatest players of all time, arguably the greatest, just arguable, not really important whether or not he is to any of us. At this point in his career, he's still got a few years to prove himself, but he feels as though the world's coming at him right now, I'm sure, because he's losing Kyrie, and everybody's talking about him leaving next summer, leaving again, and he hasn't come out and said anything, so it's not like definitive or anything, but everybody's talking about him leaving, and Kyrie's leaving, and Michael's talking about how Kobe's better than him, and Kevin Durant's on social media talking about how he's better than him, and it's just like shot after shot after shot at the king. Let me down. But he's the greatest player in the world, you guys. Maybe it's time that we recognize that. Stop holding him to such a god level. Realize he's human. We need to take it easy on LeBron James. He's been to 7 straight finals. He's probably should have been finals MVP for 4 of them. Maybe 5. We keep on acting like LeBron's not doing enough. LeBron James averaged a triple-double in the finals. Name the last player who did that, and I'll drop this. I'll wait. We're going to keep hating on LeBron, and we're going to keep pretending that he should, I don't know, be perfect beyond what he already is. He's already the closest thing to perfect we've ever had as far as in the finals goes. We keep on pretending that he's supposed to be able to do it all alone. Now, don't get me mistaken in the least bit. LeBron should definitely have won a couple of those finals that he lost. Undoubtedly. He's not perfect, though. And we need to stop treating him like if he's not perfect, then he falls off the map and off the GOAT conversation. Why do we treat him like this, but Tom Brady lost 2 Super Bowls to Eli Manning, who wasn't super great, just to remind you all. Still isn't super great, rather. But we still consider Tom Brady as the greatest. And if somebody even questions Tom Brady's greatness, oh no, you don't question Tom Brady. Is something wrong with you? Maybe you're starting to see the issue here. Tom's great. LeBron is great. Why can't we just accept that LeBron's the greatest of his generation? Why does he have to be the greatest ever? Why isn't it enough for him just to be great? Speaking of what Michael said about him, I said that earlier. Michael said Kobe's better than LeBron to him because, well, 5 sounds better than 3. Can we really argue that logic? 5 is more. But by that logic, Wilt Chamberlain shouldn't be considered one of the greatest of all time. Bill Russell should be the greatest player of all time. We should take Robert Ory over Michael Jordan. Who's going to take Robert Ory over Michael Jordan? My point is, whether or not Kobe's better than LeBron, which I'll get into who I think is better in a minute, I don't think it should be dictated by rings. Winning should matter to a degree, which is why if Kobe and Michael are neck and neck like they were in their career, as far as talent goes, what we talk about is their finals. Who won more? Kobe won 6 or 7, he'd probably be considered the GOAT, but he didn't. So they were neck and neck. LeBron and Michael, whole nother story. Michael's still probably a better legacy, better stats, better everything. But Kobe and Michael. Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time. Let me clear that up real quick. Kobe averaged 25 for his career. 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. LeBron's career average is 26, 27, something along those lines. 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Stats don't lie. LeBron's better. Talent-wise, Kobe scored 81. Kobe has the best footwork in NBA history. He has the killer instinct. He did more with less, in a lot of opinions, mine included. I think talent-wise and credentials, Kobe. So that comes down to rings, because they're neck and neck in stats and credentials, talent. So it does come down to rings, which still gives the edge to LeBron, or to Kobe, I mean. Both players are remarkable. Both players are Hall of Famers. Both players, 2 of the greatest of all time. Kobe gets the edge because he's more talented, in my opinion. Maybe not as good a passer. I think he's just as good a assist artist. If Kobe was 6'8", 260 pounds, he'd be a better rebound guy. That's just a fact. Pound for pound, Kobe Bryant's better. Just like pound for pound, Allen Iverson's better. So that's my opinion there. Kobe's better, his legacy so far. But at the end of the day, it'll probably be LeBron. Not happy to admit that. Alright. Another topic that I don't really care to talk about a whole lot. We're going to look at the NFL season now. Ahead of it, obviously. I think it's going to be a good year. Maybe like the NFL season, or NBA season rather. The regular season's kind of irrelevant. Look at the Cowboys. They've got probably 12 games that are national TV quality. Playing against the Eagles twice, playing against the Giants twice, who are both playoff contenders, the Redskins twice. That's 6 games right there against teams that are playoff contenders. I think that's probably the toughest division in football right now, aside from maybe the AFC West. Not a Cowboys fan, no. I do hope to see Washington come out with that division just because I'm a Michigan guy and Kirk Cousins is out of Michigan State. Whoa. So in the East, I hope it's the NFC East. I hope it's the Redskins. Though they have just as tough a schedule, and it's not going to be easy. I mean, it's just how it is. Go out to the NFC West. And that's just as tough a division, I think, with the Seahawks and the Rams. The Rams are going to be probably the best team as far as like most improved this year. I think the Rams are going to just... I think everything's going to change in St. Louis this year. Jeff Fisher's out, so it's a big deal. The Seahawks will obviously still be good. The Cardinals, I think a lot of people are expecting a lot of good things out of the Cardinals. But this isn't the same Cardinals team that we had 2 years ago. This Cardinals team is soft. Maybe not soft. Maybe that's a little harsh. But it's just not the same Cardinals team that we're used to. That we were used to. I think it's going to go back to Carson Palmer's not an elite quarterback to carry a team. I mean, he's good. He's probably most likely a Hall of Famer because of his college stats. He was amazing in college, but he's not good enough in the NFL. And then finishing out that division is... One second. I just had a brain fart. I can't remember who the fourth team in that division is. Anyways, Seahawks probably take that division. Still the most talented team in that division, and it's not really up for debate. It's not really arguable. Richard Sherman's returning, a chip on his shoulder following the trade talks. Earl Thomas is coming off of injury. I think Richard Sherman has said that Earl's been playing at practice as though he's got something to prove. He's probably the best safety in the game. Cam Chancellor's still probably one of the best safeties in the game. Not probably, he is one of the best in the game. And then beyond that, gosh dang it, it's not really much. There's not competition in that whole division. The NFC South, going out to the Saints and Falcons, Panthers, Bucks. This is an every other year division is what I call it. And the Saints, they can't stop anybody on defense, so that pretty much sums up the Saints season. It's already over. And then so I don't think the Saints are going to be that great. The Panthers, I'm not a big Cam Newton fan. He completed, I think, south of 50% of his passes last season. Well, he gets hurt. He didn't have anybody to throw the ball to. He's not being protected. I don't want to hear that stuff because he doesn't stay in the pocket. And when told that he has to stay in the pocket, he started whining, saying, "Oh, this is just how I play. You guys should let me do what I do. It's been successful." No, it hasn't, Cam. You've been to the playoffs twice. You got manhandled in the Super Bowl playing your way. The Panthers aren't going to be much better than they were last year. Kelvin Benjamin's not elite. Christian McCaffrey, on the other hand, he's a bright spot on their team. He should be okay. Throwing shade at them, I know, sounds like a hater. The Falcons, they're a tough one to crack. I think they'll be a wild card team. They're not going to fall off the map. The Falcons, though, have Matt Ryan, and he's probably the third, fourth best quarterback in the league. And then they have their double head backfield for running backs. And they're both going to be pretty good this year, as always. And they got Julio. Everybody knows Julio, and Julio's going to do his thing. And I don't know why it matters, man. It's not going to be enough. I think the Buccaneers are the most improved team in that division. Crap. I think Jameis Winston's finally going to have a breakout year. I'm predicting 40-plus touchdowns for him this year. With Deshaun Jackson on one side, Vincent Jackson in the middle, Mike Evans on the other side. And then still got Doug Martin to hand the ball off to. Their defense is led by Aaron. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Their defense is a really young team with a lot of potential. So my pick for that division is the Buccaneers. NFC North. Got a special place in my heart because I'm a Lions fan. The Lions actually have one of the toughest schedules in the league this year. Realistically, expect 9-7, maybe 10-6 with some luck. I hope they prove me wrong. The Bears, I don't even know who they're going to play at quarterback. They say there's no competition, but who cares? They're not going to be that good. No matter who it is, they don't have anybody to catch the ball. They got that young running back's pretty good. Their defense has too many holes to just consider them a real threat. So the Bears are probably going to finish 3-13. The Vikings probably most likely going to finish around 6-10, maybe 7-9 with some luck. Sam Bradford's not an elite quarterback, and Teddy Bridgewater's not ready to go. Adrian Peterson's gone. It'll be a rough year for Minnesota. Six might even be generous. Crap. Hey. So the Vikings aren't going to be that good. And then there's the Packers. Still have a lot of holes on the defense. They lost a chunk of their offensive line. I expect the Packers to go 10-6, maybe 11-5. It'll come down to them and the Lions again for the NFC North crown. Probably advantage Packers. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, and I think he's going to prove that this year. Yeah, Packers probably win division, but it comes down to them and Lions. I think both teams will be in the playoffs again. That's just probably how that's going to be. Okay. Move out to the AFC North. We're going to start with them. Obviously, Cleveland's going to be terrible. They don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. I expect Cleveland to win 4, maybe 5 games this year, which would be an improvement on last year, but it's not a playoff caliber team yet. But they have a lot of young potential, so I really expect Jabril Peppers to have a pretty good year. Myles Garrett's going to have a remarkable year. I think he's going to be the best player on that team, if he's not already, by the end of the year. He's special too. Sweet. But yeah, Cleveland 4, maybe 12. Cincinnati, I don't think they're going to be very good. Maybe 7-8 wins. Andy Dalton's not a franchise guy, even though he's, I don't know, quarterbacks are hard to come by, so maybe like he's a franchise guy, but he's not elite franchise, if that makes sense. Crap. Their running back situation's sketchy. They still got AJ Green, who's remarkable. Their defense, still led by Adam Pac-Man Jones, not the best defense in the league. It's rough. Being in the AFC is rough to not have a defense. So maybe 7, maybe 8 wins for Cincy. The Ravens, if Joe Flacco gets healthy, I think the Ravens could be a playoff threat at least. Shoot. And maybe 9 wins, maybe 10. not gonna be world beaters. Not even gonna win the division. I don't see much to be excited about out in Baltimore other than their coach. Moving on to him, or the Steelers rather. The Steelers are the best team in that division. I don't even think it's close. Steelers led by Le'Veon and Big Ben, and they'll be good. Steelers are gonna win the division. Martavius Bryant's playing, and Aaron Brown. Their defense is still a little sketchy, but I think they're gonna outscore everybody. Or not everybody. They'll go 12-4, maybe 13-3. It's gonna be a good year to be a Steelers fan. Steelers win that division, and possibly the AFC. At least get to the AFC Championship. We move out to the AFC East, and there's not much to talk about here. There's going to be 3 teams to AFC East under 500, and there's the Patriots, probably going to go 16-0, maybe 15-1. They win a division. They're going to win the entire AFC. Not a Patriots fan, just to clear it up for everybody. I'm a realist, and realistically, they're the most stacked team that I've ever seen in my life. Getting Brandon Cooks, getting back Edelman and Amendola, and their defense has gotten better. Losing Ninkovich kind of sucked for them, but they'll be fine. I mean, they've proven they can lose pieces and still be elite, so Patriots win the AFC East. AFC South, we'll start with the Colts. I expect the Colts to lose Andrew Luck for a few weeks, meaning that they're going to start out 0-2, 0-3, maybe even 0-4. And that's hard to hear for Colts fans, but Luck's got a long career, and as long as they don't hurry his comeback, I think they'll be alright. Yeah, Colts maybe win 6 games this year. It'll be a rough season for Andy. The Titans are expected to be pretty good this year, and I agree. I don't agree with the 12-4 prediction that NBC gave them, or CBS, but I do expect the Titans to be a playoff team this year, 9 wins, maybe 10. Mariota's probably going to have a 30 touchdown year, hopefully. I like Marcus Mariota. I expect the entire Tennessee roster just to come better together. DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry, they're special. They're special young, and they're going to be even better when they're old. Spoiler alert. Okay. Yeah, 9, maybe 10 wins for them. And then Jacksonville, probably going to be terrible again. I really hope they're better. I think Leonard Fournette's going to change things around there a little bit. They'll score the ball a little better because they can run it better, and it gives Blake Bortles a little better chance to throw the ball. So maybe 6 wins for them. Maybe 7. It's going to be between them and the Colts for the worst team in that division. Nobody wants to hear that, but I say it how I feel it. And then the Texans, I think Deshaun Watson is going to make a huge impact. Rumor has it, everybody was excited about him coming out of college. Rumor has it he's better than we thought. Gosh, he's got a fast shot. So he's playing better than we thought. He's outplaying everybody in Houston as far as the quarterback challenge goes. There is no battle out there, I guess. It's his team. I expect him to do remarkable things. Their defense is on point. Their offense is going to be better with a consistent leader. I expect Houston to win 11, maybe 12 games this year and win their division. And then the AFC West. Now this is a tough one because they're really good from top to bottom. I like this entire division. Let me just clear that up. I'm going to start with the Chargers. I think the Chargers are one of the most underrated teams in the league. Phillip Rivers is still leading them. They got a new coach who was a coach with the Cowboys back when they were still pretty good. And they're good now, but not what I mean. His name is Anthony Lynn. If you've never heard of him, look him up. Good guy. Good story about him and Jerry Jones told last night. Chargers win maybe 10 games, 9, 10 at the most, and they're either a wild card or they just miss. We'll go from the Chargers to the Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to be okay-ish. Nothing's ever super out of whack out there, just because of the ownership they have and how things are run for them. So, Denver wins 7 games this year, maybe. Woo! They don't have a quarterback right now, and Von Miller is their defense, and they got a good defensive backfield, but I don't think they're gonna, outside of a few special defensive players, they're not gonna be special. They're gonna be okay, which is a bad place to be, because it means you're gonna get a weird draft pick that's not worth much, and your whole team's not gonna be worth much. Denver wins 6, 7, maybe 8. Moving on from Denver, we'll go to one second. Crap, that shot slower than I thought it was. Okay, so we'll move on from Denver to Oakland. Oakland wins the division, I think. They're going to be pretty good. Kind of hard to beat. Probably 13 wins for Oakland. Derek Carr's healthy. He's exciting. It'll be them or the Steelers facing the Patriots in the AFC Championship. I don't think either team's ready to beat the Patriots, but I think that's what it's going to look like. Marshawn Lynch is going to be huge, and their defense has gotten a little better outside of Khalil Mack. They're not super special on this side of the ball, though, and I hope that they can get things together. Yeah. I can't remember the 4th team in that division either, so I am obviously terrible at this. Well, 2 teams in the NFL I can't even remember exist. That's dreadful. Okay, so if I forgot anything other than those 2 teams, just let me know, and just my opinion on these things. Next we're going to move on to still NFL, but a certain quarterback in the NFC North that, well, people just can't decide whether or not he's elite, and I'll give you my opinion on him. Matthew Stafford. As I said, I'm a Lions fan, so the Lions have a special place in my heart. Matthew Stafford is my favorite player of all time. So let me tell you guys why I think he is elite. Stafford last year had the highest QBR of his career, so you know that he's getting better. He's the youngest player to the yards that he has in history of the league, beating Dan Marino. Most touchdowns for his age in the history of the league. Why isn't he special? He started from day 1. So all you guys want to say is, well, he's still yet to improve. Well, he's still yet to get a whole lot of help. We had Kelvin Johnson, though. Alright. You give one Hall of Fame receiver who wasn't even full-heartedly with the team, who wants the ball all the time, and you expect him to make Matthew Stafford look elite. Look, Stafford's been elite. He doesn't throw a whole lot of interceptions anymore. He's staying healthy. I think we are really just not talking about the fact that he was hurt for the last 4 games last year, 5 games. The Lions were 9-4. He tore a ligament in his finger, and they lose every game after that. I don't know why we haven't talked about that as a culture. I don't understand, quite honestly. He was having a career year. So, Expect special things out of Matthew Stafford this year. Like I said, 9-10 wins for them. Expect the Lions to be a playoff team. I was trying to pass out of that. Yeah. Okay, so I understand this might have been a little boring. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. Please like the video, share it. I'm sorry if I bored you guys. I'm having fun with this, and I like talking about sports and just sharing my opinion on things. If you have anything that you maybe want another person's opinion about, just let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching. Yeah, have a great day.